Right, welcome back to NA Turbo. So we're going to start doing a bit of tinkering on the 21 because if you've sort of watched the videos, I've explained a bit about what's happened with the front subframe that was made of dodgy welding and various bodgers. So Ryan's going to start getting it ready. We've got another subframe that he's also welded and prepped, haven't you?
Yes, so that's all been... Not that anyone should ever have to do that, but I have rebuilt a second subframe for this, replacing most of the bottom of it because it was basically made of rust.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the common theme with these 1.7 subframes.
Yeah.
Because they seem to, from looking inside of it, cutting it apart, it's a very, very poor design. It's full of holes, designed to just scoop up every bit of rubbish it can possibly find. And it will always suffer on the very back subframe mount.
Okay, does it sort of blow out from the seams on the inside?
Yeah, so it's a big press top section.
Yeah.
With basically a 1 mil bottom on it. So you don't have a jack on it because it isn't designed for you to jack on it. I learned that with this one. So, yeah, there's nothing inside of it. It's purely just made of nothing.
Oh, right, okay.
But it just ends up full of rust because it ends up blowing water back down through to the back subframe mounts, and there's 2 drain holes that don't drain once they get to 30 years old.
Right, join us back in a second. Sorry, we're just going to pause for a moment. Right, so apologies for the little break there. We just get tools and whatnot. So, yeah, Ryan's going to explain what's actually happened with this. So we're basically going to start stripping the car down to get it ready for the subframe change.
Yes.
And if I'm right in thinking you're actually going to lift the engine out, aren't you?
Yes, engine has to come out on this car.
Yeah.
Because unlike, well, quite a lot of things, it's not uncommon, but the engine on this relies totally on the subframe.
Yeah.
It doesn't hang off of the body anywhere on the rails or anything. It purely hangs off of that subframe.
Yeah.
So to change the subframe, if the engine was supported by the rails, you could just drop the subframe from the bottom and put it back up. But with this one, because you've got to take the engine, you could support the engine and then take the subframe out from the bottom, but it's so easy to take this engine out, I say now, that I want it to come out because there's other jobs that need doing that it might as well be done while it's out. The exhaust manifold is junk.
Yeah.
Or the studs are junk. It blows quite badly. And it is impossible to do anything with it in the car because it's just going to break every bolt. The gearbox, I want to take the gearbox off, not replace anything in it.
Yeah.
The clutch seems fine. I might replace the gearbox, but every single one of those bolts is completely frozen into the alley box.
Ah, okay.
So that's going to be a fight, and I want to fight with that out of the car rather than in the car.
Yeah, easier when you're not smacking your hands and knuckles on things.
And we've got rust that needs attended to now.
In various, is it the strut tops?
So down here, someone has put a very shitty...
There you go.
It's been plated, but that's rubbish.
Yeah.
Like that offends me.
So that will be going and be banished forever.
Like in there. It's holed in there.
Ah, okay.
Well, it might not be holed, they just use 18 litres of seam sealer because it's Renault, but you can see like down here, all of this,
if I can get you in,
needs to get taken out, and all this seam sealer, because as you see,
it's behind it, isn't it?
it's a bit holy-moly in there.
I mean, the seam sealer is a good idea, isn't it, from the factory? But the only problem is, once water permeates it, it then just rusts from underneath, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to get that bit off. Renault and, well, the French, especially... I'll use a bigger screwdriver before I bend.
I'll bring you in from the other side, so we're not all fighting for a space. So we might be able to get it if I bring you around without making you too sick.
So there's a hole there.
Yeah.
That needs... That's just right up. That's going to be a bit of an arse to repair because it's in a bit of a fun place to get to.
Yeah, I'll just zoom you in if I can again do it without making you too sick.
But yeah, all of that needs to be dug out.
Yeah.
No, somebody just decided filler was a good idea. But it's not too horrific. There's a hole there. There's a hole into the back of the strut top there.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a hole down there. So it's probably going to end up needing a plate for most of that. And then that horrible shitty plate needs to come off because it absolutely offends me.
Yeah, and so that'll go in all our fresh metal, so I'll zoom you back out again without making you too sick.
But if that was the only bit of rust that needed attending to, you would just leave it in situ. But that side has a plate that hasn't even been done.
But is that here?
Yeah, so that's what happens.
So if I could take you down and in there you go.
So apparently that seems, well, from what I've seen, that seems to be a common spot on every single Renault 21 with this setup at the front.
Oh, okay.
No idea why, it just does it. So
yeah,
I'm going to do this one again.
Yeah.
Get rid of that horribleness. going to do that one because that one's all horrible. I can see it blowing the underseal out of there. And yeah, the copious amounts of that is original. Useless. So it needs a bit down there.
Yeah.
It's quite bad down there.
Yeah.
There's a couple bits down there where it's very soft.
It's sort of what here on this.
Yeah, a few of them are a bit soft. The seam across there is a bit soft.
Yeah.
The seam down here is very soft because I raised that. The bottom of the radiator box is completely missing because somebody decided that even though that's gone rusty, we don't need that, but we do.
Yeah. So, hadn't they Heath Robinsoned away for the radiator to still hang on to it?
No, because they left the top of it.
Oh, okay.
So they cut the bottom out of it because that went rusty, and I'm not really sure why.
Yeah.
The point was because it obviously wasn't going to fail an MOT. Well, it shouldn't fail an MOT, but the bumper covers the entirety of it.
Yeah.
I have no idea why they cut it off, because the bumper appears to have never been off. But I can't understand why you would just hack out that section and not put anything back. But what we're going to do is I can't find a front panel for this car, so I have to make that and have to fix that. Same as make all these strop pieces. And the wings are coming off.
Right.
Because all of this underseal
on
here
could be hiding a...
It's the horrible stuff that when it gets underneath it, it starts going rampant.
Ah, okay.
So, this car's been very wet at the front.
Yeah.
So that's going to come, I'm going to dig all this out.
Because we think it was laid up in sort of some long grass or something similar outside, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's been very damp at the nose. Hence
Yeah.
the subframe completely disintegrated.
Because it was laid up for, I can't remember how many years now before it was...
Pre-2007.
Yeah.
It's way before the MOT history went online. This thing's been sat.
Yeah.
So wherever it was, that is very wet.
And believe it or not, it did come with a full MOT, and I don't know if I did some pictures of the original exhaust that you had on it, didn't you?
Yes.
Which basically, as soon as you started it, the first time after we had it delivered, because it was in the midst of the COVID lockdowns and whatnot, it blew itself apart, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm not... Whoever did MOT this, whether the owner was complicit in knowing when they were doing the MOT on this car or not, just completely looked the other way.
Yeah.
The exhaust was bodged. That subframe was bodged by them.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that they did that because they're the ones that undersealed it. There has been some welding down at the fronts of the sills.
Yeah.
Which appears to have been either done by somebody who did know what they were doing and at least were half competent.
Yeah.
But whoever did all the rest of it just didn't have a clue.
Yeah, we think it was basically, so somebody had found it as things do. Unfortunately, either the deceased estate sale or found it as a barn find. I mean, I know everything's a barn find nowadays. So we think it was in something like that. Somebody got it, thought they could make a few quid off it, bunged a ticket on it either way, and then, sold it on.
Yeah, but this is... The thing is, it's not horrifically bad.
No.
It's bad in areas. The back end of it is actually a hell of a lot better than the
front end. Yeah.
But this is why I want the engine out, because I'm going to take the engine out, because then you can have access to all of this sitting in the bay and actually do it.
Yeah.
We can do that. So I dig all this horrible seam sealer out, fix all the blown out seams in each side of it, rebuild down underneath here. There's a couple bits of tin that go down and hold the bumper up that don't anymore.
Yeah.
That one's missing. Take the wings off and strip everything right back in the inner wings and find out where it's going, because I know on that side it's starting to get rather frilly as it gets towards the chassis legs.
Okay.
So the legs themselves are good.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the legs.
Yeah, as you sort of look down and in,
They do need a repair on wherever it is, there's a joint in them where there's the two legs slide inside of each other, where they are somewhere about here.
Yeah.
And there's a plate that runs on the bottom of it, and it's just popped the plate.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Classic Ford, do it all the time, anything that's lapped, so
yeah,
not a hard repair. But I want everything out of it.
Yeah.
Wings off. All of this is coming. This still stays in, but this comes out.
Yeah.
That's going to get blasted. I'm going to do all of this, and then I'm going to repaint the whole bay.
Because the thing is, this is, you could bodge it, couldn't you, and get it through another ticket, but this is a really rare car nowadays. I forget when we looked on the howmanyleft.com whatever it is site, how many of this particular spec and model there is. I think
it's 3 GTSs.
Yeah.
Were the last of probably a phase 1-ish, I think.
Yeah.
Roughly 3. Probably a few more that just didn't get accounted for. So even if you said there's 10.
Yeah.
Of this particular one, I have no idea, because it's that weird special.
Yeah. Of the special trim, there wasn't. It doesn't. I don't think it goes into that. Yeah.
I've never seen another one. I've asked a few people if they've ever seen one, and supposedly there was a couple where someone had seen an estate many moons ago.
Yeah.
So it might be one of only a few, or if only the only one of itself left.
Yeah, and so it's worth doing it properly and preserving it, because actually it drives really, really well, doesn't it?
It drives very well. It starts every single time on the button. It never. I did 3,000 miles in it before it finally rotted before the subframe.
Yeah, we took it to Festival and Exceptional, and apart from a few little issuettes on the way there, wipers stopping working. It drives so well, and being French, it is that ultimate comfortable wafty thing. It's no speed demon. It's not going to be a burner away from the lights, but
God, no. But it's a nice car, and it drives very well for what it is.
Yeah,
and it's worthy of saving, because in the entire time I've owned it, I see turbos come up.
Yeah, there's a lot more turbos prevalent, but again, I suppose it's one of those things, isn't it? People tend to save the Halo models or whatever they call them, don't they?
Yeah.
Rather than the cooking basic models.
Yeah. And this is about as pedestrian as you could possibly have got in 1990.
Yeah.
But it's a nice car. It drives very well, and to be brutally honest, yes, the paintwork's not great on it, on the roof especially. And the roof will need welding at some point, because that's got issues. But
yeah.
At the moment, that's never going to stop it getting an MOT, and nothing from him is either. So the intention for this time round is from the windscreen forwards.
Yeah.
Is we're going to fix everything.
Yeah.
So engine out, take all the gearbox off and fix those broken bolts, possibly replace that gearbox.
Yeah.
Because it's got the stuck speedo drive.
Oh, yes, I remember, yeah.
Bodge to get it so that you could get a speedo cable back in it again.
Yeah.
Luckily, boxes from a Volvo 480.
Oh, okay.
Because it had the same engine.
Yeah.
Are exactly the same.
Oh, okay.
So, luckily we have Lakesy's Volvo that is...
Oh, that's just on the A1, yeah. Yeah.
So I might take a trip up there at some point and see if we can find a box with a non-stuck speedo drive in it, and swap the box out.
Yeah.
The clutch is fine. This engine seems absolutely fine.
Yeah.
The subframe's going to get changed, because that's got the new one that's getting painted. Hopefully next week going to get painted.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to change all the struts.
Yeah.
I've got new wishbones for it, new steering rack gaiters. I've got a potential of putting a manual steering rack in it, though I don't want to if I don't have to. I've got the pipe to replace the power steering pipe that rotted out on it.
Yeah.
Going to put new struts, all new wishbones, all new anti-roll bar mountings, everything at the front. It'll all be everything will be brand new.
Yeah.
All the underseal will be off of here. I'll epoxy prime everything inside, seam seal it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tint the underseal so that it is the same colour.
Oh, so it matches, yeah.
Yeah. Redo everything in there, and that should basically, and then repaint the back.
Yeah.
And I might repaint the bottom of the bonnet.
Yeah, and again, I think I did a video on it. It's got brand new windscreen in it as well, which was a bit of a nightmare to track down. But the motto of what we found out is forget the big companies, the likes of Autoglass, etc., etc. I basically phoned round a few local companies, and I forget the guy's name, but I think it was something like Windscreen Fleet Services in the Bedford area that we are. It was absolutely amazing. He got classic cars himself. He tracked one down, came out and fitted it, and then we basically just claimed it back off the insurance company, which is a lot better, because we're still waiting to hear on Autoglass if you're out there.
It's been about a year now.
Yeah, who were trying to busily find one for a year and a bit.
Why they were having trouble, given that this is not okay. Yes, it's an unusual car.
Yeah,
but this is Pilkington glass.
Yeah,
from Pilkington's, and they had, when he rang up, they had 8 of them in stock. So how they were having difficulty finding this windscreen, I have no idea, because it's not like it's impossible to find. No. But regardless of that, we'll leave them until they eventually, somehow, some miracle in the future, they'll maybe figure
2050, they might find a windscreen for it. We never know. But yeah, that's because I've had the same issue with the Supra, although I won't name them now, but I used a windscreen company that was mandated to by the horrible insurance company I was with at the time, and they were atrocious. Basically told me my car was a load of crap. So yeah, needless to say, if I ever need another windscreen for something like this, we know now we'll go with a local company. Obviously you need to pay up front for it, but to be fair, I forget who the insurance company was that did this one. When we put the claim through, it was really simple and easy.
It was Performance Direct.
Performance Direct.
Weird,
so Yeah, we're not sponsored by them or anything, but a shout out to them because we literally phoned up, said we'd had it done.
It was Performance Direct through, which brokered it to Hiscox.
Yeah, literally, we phoned up the claims line, yeah, said we had it done. They said, yeah, no problem. Send in a copy of the invoice and your card details, and we'll refund you. And within a few days,
yeah, got 2 days.
It was done, and I was shocked because I was like waiting for it to be. You have to fill out 1 million forms, and you have to wait 14 days. But no, they were really good. Yeah. So yeah, motto of the story is, yeah, if you've got anything old or things like this, just do not bother with the major players in windscreen replacement. But anyway, that's a bit of a sidetrack. Yeah. So I'll let Ryan tell you what we're going to do now.
So first thing we're going to do is just get rid of the battery for the minute.
Yeah.
I'm not taking any of the electrics out today because until the SD1 comes out the garage.
Yeah.
This needs to still be movable.
Yeah.
So today it's going to be take all the headlights out, take the bumper off.
Yeah.
Might even get the wings off because I'd like to see what's hiding behind down summer here.
Yeah.
And just give it a general inspection of some of the other bits and pieces, see how far we're going to have to go with the welding.
Yeah.
And then it will be, once the SD1's out of the garage, rip all of the rest of this out, take all of the coolant and everything pipes out, take this brace bar out.
Yeah.
And then we can lift the engine out with it outside and then roll it into the garage, lift it up and take the whole suspension system out.
Yeah.
In one hit, and then I'm going to gut everything in it, so all the wiring harness and everything's going to get pushed back into the shell.
Yeah.
So that
you've got a clean engine bay to work with then.
Any rust bleb is going to get dealt with now.
Yeah.
So, and then it'll be just, I'll rebuild the new subframe, put all the wishbones back in it, and then once I've painted all in here, put it all back together, get it as a rolling shell, put the engine back in.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Brilliant. So I'll leave you watching us undo volts of various things, and we'll come back at the next stage, and you'll be able to see where we have got to. So join us again soon. Right. So you join us with actually surprisingly no swearing back for, I call this part one of the making the Renault 21 naked at the front. So yeah, as you can see, quite a few bits have come off, and I'll let Ryan tell you what we've done.
Yeah, so the bumpers are now, so the bumpers are now off. Lights out.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see a bit better.
I'll put that down for a second and then we can have a look under the bits.
It's better. So you can see a sort of semi-naked front end.
So yeah, so bumpers off over there.
Yeah.
Lower valance panel is off.
Yeah.
With what was left of it. Attached to what was left of it.
As you can see, if I pan down to the front here, it is quite crispy.
So yeah, all of this is sort of Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's a bit of Wi-Fi down there, and it's more Wi-Fi down there. There should be a whole piece that runs all the way across here.
Yeah.
That is no longer there anymore. That I kind of knew was no longer there anymore.
Yeah.
Because I could see it from the other side in the engine bay. But yeah, this is all a bit crispy.
Just a little bit.
But this is probably because of where it's been sat.
Yeah.
Because you go less than an inch further up and it's rock solid E-coat in the boxes. So whatever it was just probably moisture sitting against the bumper and sitting against the bottom of it. It's just rotted this out, or it had a very leaky radiator at some point and it leaked into the box and then just rotted the box out from the inside.
Yeah, because coolant can be corrosive, can't it? So
not really. It's more that it's just sitting wet for a long time, and I think it had water in it for some time. But yeah, the top of the rad box is no longer really attached to very much. Surprisingly, the cups for the bumper are alright.
Yeah.
But it's fine all the way up here. Anything up here is okay. And anything, actually, the other side is slightly better. It's slightly less rotten than up here. So that's not too bad.
Yeah.
The bottom of the...
I'll come around this side.
The bottom of the wing on this side isn't too bad. There is a hole in this support rail.
Yeah.
Because the other side, we'll show you from the inside, has disappeared. This is still mostly intact, even though it is just tin. But it's actually still intact, so I can copy it for the other side, because the other side...
Yeah, if we come round. Making you too sick.
Is mostly Wi-Fi. There's not a lot there.
Yeah.
There's a small little hole there in the end of the rail, but that's tiny little plate, that's no problems. So that's okay. That's I knew that was there. I'd seen it because I could see it from the other side. The bumper wasn't very well hanging on.
Yeah.
It's been tweaked, I think, in this corner at some point.
Somebody's had a bit of a push against it.
So I want to mess with it because the lights never fitted very well and the indicators always used to stick out. So
yeah,
there's a little bit of a bow in it, so it might need a bit of tweaking.
Yeah.
But apart from like a couple of stuck bolts on the ground outside, put the stay up
before it decides to fall on our heads.
Yes. So yeah, other than that, this side was what
yeah
about under the battery tray. So the battery lead stays where it's supposed to. So you had rather a bit of weight reduction down there.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's actually mostly fairly solid. It's all solid down here.
Yeah.
A tiny little blow there that we'll be dealing with and dig out this sealer. But the legs are all solid. There's nothing wrong with the legs.
Which is good, because that's kind of major surgery, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's mainly just, this is all sealer. It looks like a flange, but it's actually sealer.
Yeah.
And there is a little flange in there, so it's basically cut it back to there, and then remake all this, remake this corner, and the bit where the bumper goes through.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's not really too bad in there. It wasn't anything I wasn't drastically expecting.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be too bad. There's a couple little bits on that side that are the same, but other than that, it's about as I expected it to be.
Yeah, so if we sort of pull you down in here, sort of see around. But actually, all in all, it's not as bad as you would think, really, is it?
No, it's survived. It survived about as well as you'd expect for
yeah.
a 1980s Renault.
Yeah.
This has all been sweat damage. You look at the bolts that come out of certain things, like this one.
Yeah. Have you got one of them we can look at?
So I've nicked some of them up. These were in the legs.
Yeah.
So the inside is still shiny eco, but the outside looks like it's been at the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
So it's all sweat damage.
Yeah.
It's all been very damp for a long time.
Which goes along with what we thought, where it might have been sat outside somewhere up in long grass that gets wet and then it just sort of sweats like we do.
Yeah. But other than that, so far it's about as I expected.
Yeah.
So we'll peel the wings off. There's a couple bits that we need to find because this is what happens with the underseal.
Yeah.
It's polyurethane sealer. They used it in the 80s quite a lot. They still use it now, I think.
Yeah.
But it's great till it gets underneath it.
Yeah.
And then it survives longer than the steel can.
Underneath it, and we've seen this. The Supra's got exactly the same issue when we start stripping that back.
So a lot of that there is just underseal.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that's actually left. The steel has disappeared, but the underseal is about the only thing that's left.
Yeah, the Corrado's got some of the things. Luckily for the Corrado, I haven't poked, but it was sort of a London car for many years, so
it's the problem with it is everything of this era that's got this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a risky find with it in certain areas. The sealer will hide a lot of what is actually not there.
Yeah, because it looks absolutely fine from on the top until you start poking, and then you think, oh, that's soft, and then it goes straight through, and because basically the sealer's holding it together.
Yeah, so it's a little soft, but to be honest, it's really not terrible.
No.
It's going to need plates around here, a plate up here, a plate down in here, and there's a void box here.
Yeah.
And there's a plate on the other side of that. That'll be a bit fiddly. And then it's going to need a plate, an end making for that end.
Yeah.
And then all of this bottom rad box. If I can find it from a donor vehicle,
yeah,
I will try and get another one. I can't find pattern ones anywhere.
No, because again, it's not a bit like the Supra. It's not something they did pattern parts for, is it? If it's a Ford, if it's a Vauxhall.
They did do pattern crash parts. I have found some.
Yeah.
There's not. I can't find a front rad box for it. They would have made them because these things, when they got bumped, would have had front rad boxes and probably rail extensions.
Yeah.
They would have needed these. They're probably about. If not, I might see if I can find, because the only place that won't have a rusty one is probably Spain.
Yeah.
So if I can find someone out there who's willing to cut me the front, some of it off, I don't want all of it.
Yeah.
But if they can hack it through there and hack it maybe through the legs and then ship that bit, I can unpick it.
Yeah.
And lay it into this one. It'd be far simpler.
And again, this is what we're going to have to do with the Supra. I'm having to sort of find rear arch sections from dry states in America, because they all rotted exactly the same over here.
Yeah. So other than that, so far it's pretty much as I thought it would be. It's crusty. I'm going to replace the bumper because the bumper's pretty much knackered.
Yeah, because
I can repair it, but where the rust has got between the bolts,
it
had just ripped the plastic apart because it had got to the point where it just disintegrated.
So we'll have a little sort of closer look in here.
So the chances of these will all grind out.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's the remains of some of it.
Where it came away from the car.
But like here, it disintegrated.
Yeah. So
that tab, the tab there for the spoiler, which is down there, also was just blown apart by the rust. And the other side, it actually just pulled out of the car, so it was alright.
Yeah.
These I can find. The good thing is the fog lights are fantastic.
Yeah, which is really good actually.
So they'll get protected and the buckets are all okay, because they're very expensive because they fit 5 GT turbos.
Yeah.
So the fog lights on this I think were worth like 250 quid at some point.
And we've been there, done that with the Supra, trying to find one that the fog light bowls hadn't rotted out of.
And I think they've gone down now, but they were at one point trading for silly money.
Yeah.
But this, it's like the spoiler on that side and all of this is pulled out of here with the fog lights out. So I have found one. There's a complete one there's a couple complete ones in the UK. There's a guy in Italy, he's got a couple. So I can find them. It's not too much of a heartache.
But yeah, so that's sort of stage 1, we'll call that, of stripping it and taking it down, and then come back and join us for stage 2. We don't know exactly when that'll be, but come back and join us again. And as always, as they say on the internet, do hit like and subscribe, and stay safe everybody, and see you soon. Thanks for now.